on the devastation that cyclone Amphan has caused in West Bengal as well as Odisha. Boria Mazumdar and Indrajit Kundu are joining us live this morning from Kolkata with all the latest updates. Boria and Indrajit, hope both of you are safe. We've seen the kind of images, very powerful images that are coming in. And before I take it across to both of them for a report on what's really happening on the ground, let's just sum up for you what we witnessed last night. Kolkata has seen one of its most severe cyclones in many decades as Cyclone Amphan wreaked havoc in many areas. Now the wind uprooted trees, damaged houses and snapped power lines. Howling wind slamming doors, shattering window panes and pouring rain created a rather eerie atmosphere in the city. The wind speed of the cyclone while passing Kolkata was 113 kilometers per hour. Those pictures that you see on your screens is from Kolkata and shows you the sense of devastation and how powerful that storm was. 4 people died because of the cyclone in West Bengal. Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee said that the death toll could go over 12. Over 5 lakh people have been evacuated in West Bengal. 20 teams of the NDRF have also been deployed in the state.
For more than 4 hours, Cyclone Amphan has devastated Kolkata, the city of joy. There is waterlogging, there is power outage at the same time. These are the kind of scenes that one can see on the roads. This is the busy Central Avenue here in Kolkata, which connects South Kolkata with North Kolkata. And what we see out here is that several trees have fallen off from both the sides. There is waterlogging on this entire stretch. At this point in time, there are multiple Kolkata Municipal Corporation vehicles which are flying on the street trying to clear all these roads, because most important major roads in Kolkata at this point are blocked by trees which have fallen like this. You know, it's a huge tree that has fallen off and it has completely blocked this entire passage of Central Avenue. So a trail of destruction that has been left over by Cyclone Amphan, which in a sense ravaged through southern Bengal and Kolkata for more than 4 hours today. This is Indrajit reporting for India Today in Kolkata.
And let's take this across to Boria and Indrajit, who are joining us live. Boria, to you first. Good morning. I'm sure it's a very, very shocking visual that you're seeing. Waking up to Kolkata full of devastation, trees uprooted. We understand that several houses have been damaged. Just tell us, what you've seen so far, the scale of destruction that we're seeing in the city.
I don't think I've seen anything like this before in 44 years of my life, Akshita. I'm actually standing on my terrace and I want to show you the visual from my terrace. Look at this. This is main North Kolkata thoroughfare which joins North and South Kolkata, okay? And look at this. You can see on the road, and this is the main road. It's a 60-feet road. As long as I can pan, it is a tale of destruction. It's trees all over. Lampposts uprooted, street lights uprooted, and I'm actually in the middle of this. So on both sides of the road are these trees, so you can't get out because it's a dead end. Yesterday, and my house, as Indro will know, this is an old North Kolkata house, and it's got strong walls, very strong walls. This house literally was shaking. Each of our doors were banging and I was holding on to my daughter for dear life, sitting inside. As I said to you, I have not seen anything like this ever before in my life. I mean, Indro said for 4 hours. No, not for 4 hours. It started bang 2:30 and it continued till about 8 when the eye, I think, was passing over the city. So a 45-minute lull and then another 1¼ hours. So it continued for well over 7½ hours. Each of those 7½ hours felt anyone could die. In fact, I've been cleaning the house. There are glass all over. Window panes from here. So as you can see, there's water logging inside the rooms. There's water all inside these rooms. There's glass all over because windows have been shattered. Poles have been uprooted. As I said, this is devastation of a kind. I don't know how long it will take the city establishment or the government to clear this. How many people are gone? I shudder to think that if this can happen to my house, which is strong enough, what about the slums? What about the rural areas? What about the coastal areas? What about the low-lying areas? It just can't be described as to what we are seeing this morning.
Indrajit, if I can take this across to you now, from what Boria is saying, Kolkata has seen a lot of cyclones, but nothing quite like this, because from what we're getting in at this point, it looks like there was so much widespread devastation. It could perhaps take a couple of days for us to just estimate and understand what level of damage has been caused across the state.
Well, absolutely. Last night it took me 3 hours to reach my home, a distance of about 10 kilometers from the office. Once we came out from the office, because all during the cyclone we were holed up inside the office, there was howling sound all around. And then there was a power outage. We came out of the office to conduct our live broadcast. Once we came outside, we were in for a surprise, because all around our office, and it's located in south central Kolkata, there was inundation everywhere. Kemak Street, Shakespeare Sharoni, ADC Bose Road, Central Avenue, all these important thoroughfares, all inundated. Most of these areas, there was power outage. In large parts, swathes of North Calcutta in Dum Dum area, completely inundated. No power supply all through the night. It will take quite a task for the CESC, Calcutta Electric Supply Corporation, to restore power in these areas. And of course, in each and every important road, every road was blocked. There were huge trees, massive trees that had been uprooted. Lampposts had fallen off. There was glass and window panes all across all these streets. So it will take it had to take the day to make an assessment, and at night it was not possible for the Calcutta Municipal Corporation, in a sense, to do it, even though Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee was monitoring the situation from the control room in Navanno. Weather was clearly inclement, and it did not permit the authorities to go out and clear the debris, even though some of it was done last night. Entire stretch of Park Street, parts of Salt Lake in eastern Kolkata, you name it, each and every area in the city has been inundated. At the same time, roads have been completely blocked. So it will take quite some time for the state administration to bring some semblance of normalcy as far as Kolkata is concerned. The only good part is that we are going through a lockdown and people were already inside their houses. Therefore, possibly the casualty could be low, but Mamata Banerjee, Chief Minister, has said that the death toll could go up to about a dozen.
Boria, I just want you to explain to us the entire experience, because as I pointed out earlier, Kolkata has had its share of storms, its share of cyclones. What we understand from what people have told us is that it wasn't the rain, it was the, rough winds that really caused a huge problem for so many people. Yes, most people, in Kolkata were indoors because of the lockdown, but even in their homes, we understand, we didn't feel safe.
No, I didn't feel safe. I mean, as I said to you, I've done some studies on cyclones. I don't think there has been anything like this after 1730. I mean, none of us existed then. We've all read. There was a cyclone in 1864, which I was reading up this morning. Maybe that will come close, but anything, 99, 2009, all of the cyclones that we've been through in our lives, I don't think there's been anything like this. Okay, you wanted the experience. The experience was not something that I will ever want to sort of go through ever again for anybody, Akshita, anybody in this world. It started around 12:30 when I actually came up to my terrace, tied the water tank with ropes in the hope that it will not fly out. Adjoining houses, it was scary. From around 2:30 it started. It started with howling sounds, and it was coming in every 1.5, maybe 10, 12 seconds. And there was a huge sound as if you were blowing a conch shell. And it was coming, it was hitting on your door. So every door would shake for about 10, 15 seconds, then it will come down. And as you would breathe a sigh of relief, and you would think, okay, it's going down, it will come back again. And this continued to pummel us. This continued to pummel us for at least 7 hours. As I said to you, it went up around 6 o'clock. It went up to a staggering limit. I mean, I can't describe that ordeal. Between 6:30 and maybe 7:45, 8 o'clock, it was as if you will die any second. The house will collapse. The walls were shaking. There was outside, I'll show you this. Look at this. Look at this. What I'm trying to show you is you are seeing clean visuals. The tramway is gone. You can see the tram lines there. All of the tram lines have collapsed. The tram system, which flies right in front of my house, is gone. It's the whole poles of the tramways have collapsed. The wires are all there. thankfully there's no power outage there with the tram lines, because automatically now the power gets disconnected, otherwise it will all be short-circuited. There's waterlogging. In one of those side lanes, a taxi is half gone. I tried to take pictures. It is half immersed. Now it will take days to get the water out. And finally, when we were starting to breathe a sigh of relief around 8 o'clock, because the eye had come in, it again started. And then it was reverse wind. So you can imagine, if I can tell you this, it was pitch dark. I don't think I've ever seen darkness like that. Pitch dark, black. And there was no lights. There was nothing. You could stand in your terrace and your balcony and could see nothing. All you would hear are sounds of the blowing wind, which was threatening to blow you away. As a family, we were all sort of close by with each other, holding each other and just praying that this blows past. As I said to you, if this can happen to a 3-story house, which is strong and has stood for 150 years, imagine what will happen to houses which are not strong, which are in rural areas, which are in Kacha areas, which are in slums, and which are in low-lying areas.
Truly horrifying what you're telling us, Boria. Glad that you and your family are safe, and thank you for joining us really and telling us exactly what it was like. This is something that Kolkata hasn't witnessed really in decades, and many are still reeling from the experience of what happened last evening. Indrajit, I request you to stay on with us, because it wasn't just West Bengal. Odisha also faced the wrath of cyclonic storm Amphan, and it wreaked havoc, particularly the coastal districts of Odisha, uprooting trees, electric poles, and damaging also many houses. Amphan so far has claimed 2 lives in the state. Over 1.58 lakh people have been taken to safety in Odisha. 20 NDRF teams have been deployed in the state as well. Odisha's Balasore, Bhadrak and Mayurbhanj have in fact experienced extreme gushing winds. District collectors have been asked to assess the damages caused by cyclone Amphan and submit a report within 48 hours. Assam and Meghalaya are expected to receive heavy rainfall as well through today. Cyclone Amphan is the first super cyclone to form over the Bay of Bengal since 1999, and which is why there's been unprecedented damage. Indrajit is joining us with full details on this. Indrajit, what are the reports you're picking up really on the situation right now in Odisha, particularly in coastal Odisha?
Well, as I said, the cyclone did have an impact on areas like Bhadrak, Dhamra, Paradeep, and Odisha, in a sense, was bracing up for it, and they are much better prepared, because we've seen several cyclones and super cyclones over the last few decades that Odisha had braced up with, and the district administration in the coastal regions are always geared up to face them. As far as loss of life is concerned, we haven't heard much about it from the Odisha administration, because about 11 lakh people had been evacuated, we were told, and we are not expecting much of a casualty there. But there is some damage to property. Several electric poles have been uprooted, and similar tales of trees falling. And what is worrisome, of course, is in rural areas where there are a lot of kacha houses, roofs and shades have been blown off. Similarly in South Bengal, and that assessment will have to be done. The district administration in Bhadrak, in other places in Odisha, were on the ground all through yesterday, trying to clear debris and make sure that normal traffic can resume on several of these roads. But a clear assessment will be made today after daybreak, and the administration will be able to bring in some semblance of normalcy as they walk through all these areas of destruction.
Okay, Indrajit, thank you very much for joining us, and do stay safe.